Devin Cooley has a night to remember as the San Jose Sharks beat the Seattle Kraken.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, contributor at San Jose Hockey Now. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network, where we cover your team every day. If you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch on YouTube as well. And Devin Cooley with the game of his life, stopping 49 of 50 shots as the Sharks beat the Seattle Kraken. So we're going to discuss Cooley's performance, why Mike Grier should not mess around and just give him a contract extension. We're going to talk about the Lund Line and their complete dominance, and how William Eklund is budding into a star. Plus, checking in on the Frozen Four as future star Will Smith has himself a night as well. So before we get to all that, do want to let you guys know today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why with Indeed, you only pay for quality applications that match your must-have job requirements. Visit Indeed.com/lockedon to start hiring now. Terms and conditions apply. And Devin Cooley, wow. Just wow. It wasn't the prettiest performance from Cooley, who looked a little scrambly at first, but Cooley was just amazing tonight. Again, stopping 49 of 50 shots, and like, normally I save the like looking at the numbers. I have to tell you the numbers because what he did tonight was spectacular. All situations, 49 saves on 50 shots, 1 goal against, expected goals against 5.78. The Kraken should have scored like 6 goals. They scored 1. 980 save percentage. 18 of 18 high danger saves. 18 of 18 high danger saves. 11 of 12 mid danger and 17 of 17 low danger. Cooley was locked on for the branding. It was Devin Cooley's world. There was the only thing that he could have done better tonight was hold on to his stick, which he kept losing. Can we get him like a string or something? Because it kept going all over the ice. Or maybe that's just part of the process for Cooley, is just, maybe like my kids, as soon as they get home, like there's shoes flying everywhere, there's backpacks flying everywhere. Maybe that's just part of Cooley's process, right? He's just making himself comfortable. Stick over here, we'll throw some gear. It doesn't matter. Devin Cooley tonight was absolutely outstanding. And if I'm Mike Grier, who I know is in St. Paul for the Frozen Four, hopefully with a contract in hand for Will Smith, you should probably fax one over back to San Jose and get Cooley to sign an extension. Again, it's not like Cooley's going to get a lot of money. If you can give him $1 million contract, whatever. Like, I don't know how you let him out of the building with the performance that he has put on. He's a UFA, and I don't see how a team who's looking for goaltending doesn't at least take a shot on Cooley. And we'll have plenty of conversation with if the Sharks do sign Cooley, kind of have, where he kind of fits in. But like you see, he loves playing for the San Jose Sharks, right? He loves playing for the San Jose Sharks, his hometown team. You can tell the guys rally around him, support him. Just brings that kind of a different energy. And Mike Grier, just fax over the contract. Just fax it over. Again, he has been spectacular for a guy who the Shark, like, I was like, okay, whatever. You're getting a AHL kind of veteran guy, and he has just been spectacular in every game that he's played. And you're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, but the athleticism, the size, like you can tell he's working on his craft. They talk about, how he was kind of, continues to work with a goaltending coach. It doesn't matter. He wants to get better. And I say you give him a chance to continue to get better and let you reap the kind of the fruits of that hard work. Devin Cooley, like, get him a contract extension. It's like, give him a 1 year, $1 million deal. I don't care if you need to bury it in the AHL, you can bury it in the AHL. If he's your third goalie, just don't let him leave the building right now, because the man's on fire and he deserves it. And I want to see him continue to kind of grow and progress with the Sharks. Another man who is on fire, who's not going anywhere for a long, long time, William Eklund and the Lund Line. Absolutely dominant tonight. William Eklund, other than Devin Cooley, Eklund was the best player on the Sharks tonight. Did get banged up, but at the end of the game, he blocked a shot. You could tell he was in a lot of pain. But kind of went down the hall, walked it off, came back, and then he was in they did give him post-game availability, which is usually a sign that he's going to be okay. So Eklund 2 assists tonight, a great assist on the primary assist on the Kyle Burrows one, where he had just kind of draws in the defender, sees Burrows kind of flashing and makes a great pass. And Burrows just, does his best Erik Karlsson impression to crush it home. The Lund Line was absolutely, we'll get into the numbers before it, but the Lund Line might be too good for the Sharks, as they still need to lose one more game. I know there's a lot of Sharks fans already panicking. Guys, they just have to lose one more game before they need to lose a game, or the Chicago Blackhawks need to win a game. That's all that needs to happen. I'm not worried. Enjoy the win tonight, because again, you're watching William Eklund budding into a star. Eklund, ever since moving from center to back to wing, has been on a tear. And deserve, like, this is what you've been waiting for. And again, playing with good players like Zetterlund and Granlund, you've seen the best of Eklund. And both of his points tonight, 5-on-5. I didn't have no doubt that he's going to get to at least 40. That he's going to get to 45 points this season. He's at 42 basically. Needs or 43 now. Needs a point per game as the season ends down. Eklund has been an absolute monster coming down the stretch here, and you are seeing why he's going to be so good, man. He's just going to be so good. We'll get to the numbers here behind how just insane this line was tonight, but they were so good, and you just see how well they all play off each other. The rest of the team struggled, and we'll look at the numbers here in a second to produce any sort of shots. But enjoy this tonight, because again, you're seeing bits and pieces of the future in what a winning Sharks team is going to look like. And William Eklund is going to be a huge part of what a winning Sharks team is going to look like. And he's doing this now on this ragtag bunch of team. Just wait till Musty's here, till Smith's here. If the Sharks get that first overall pick this year, just wait until there's blue chip talent surrounding the team right now. It's going to be good, guys. It's going to be well worth what we've gone through this year. So we'll dig into the numbers behind this game. Look at how badly the Sharks got kind of outplayed by the Kraken. But thanks to Devin Cooley's efforts, we'll look at the numbers behind the Lund Line. And then we'll, again, talk about Will Smith, the Frozen Four, and Zeev Buium, who the heart wants what the heart wants. The heart wants Zeev Buium. So we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Polygenius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. They save you time and money so you can provide for your family with a financial safety net starting today. With Polygenius, you find life insurance policies that start at $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Polygenius allows you to compare your options from other top companies, and their team of licensed experts will help talk you through it. Your work insurance policy may not offer enough protection for your family's needs. Even worse, it may not come with you if you leave your job. That's why Polygenius gives an unbiased advice from a licensed expert support team. So check out life insurance off your to-do list with no time with Polygenius. Head to polygenius.com/lockedonnhl or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's polygenius.com/lockedonnhl. All right. Again, when I say the Sharks got outplayed in this game, it was insane. How much they got outplayed in this game. So 5v5, we had 47 minutes of time, or 5v5. Shot attempts were 74-40 in favor of the Kraken. Actual shots was 35-23. Corsi forced 64.91 to 35.09, all in favor of the Kraken, of course. 35-18 scoring chances, 17-5 high danger chances, 4.02 to 1.4 expected goals for at 5v5. Again, like that's like 3 games of expected goals for the Sharks. Yeah, it was very much the Sharks taking advantage of their opportunities in the second period. William Eklund making some nice plays. Mikael Granlund with an insanely awesome pass to Fabian Zetterlund. And Henry Thrun with another point at the Luke Cunning goal. And even in the first period where it felt very much like it was all Kraken. But yeah, this game was all Kraken for majority of the game. The first period for the Kraken, 1.8 expected goals for. Second period, 1.83 expected goals for. And the only reason the third period wasn't worse is because the Kraken had multiple power plays and then pulled their goalie with like 4 minutes left to try to tie the game. Like it could have been like there was 11 minutes of 5v5 time in that opportunity. So Devin Cooley, I cannot overstate what type of night Devin Cooley had tonight in this win for the Sharks. Stole this game from the Sharks. Like if you told me beforehand that the Kraken were going to get 50 shots on net and have expected goals, a 5v5 expected goals of 4, I thought this was going to be like another 7-2 type of performance that we have seen from these teams. But Devin Cooley said not today. Looking at the forward line, so again, always with Jake McDonald, who did leave this game in the second period and did not come back. He looked like I don't know if it was something at his midsection or his hand. He definitely was in pain on the end of the on the bench at the end of the second period. Did not come back to this game, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. As the Sharks do head home to play the Wild on Saturday. The Barracuda are already home. Hoffman and LeBanc were both healthy scratches tonight. We'll see if the Sharks use an emergency recall here with 3 games left to bring up one of, I would assume, Gushin, who had a monster night the other night. I'd like to see Gushin, who had a monster night the other night. If maybe he gets recalled, but again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So as for the lines tonight, we have the Lund Line, William, Mikael, Fabian. That line played 13-30, 24 shot attempts. Again, the Sharks at 5v5 had 40 shot attempts at 5v5. This line had 24 of them. Just letting that sink for a second there. They had 24 shot attempts out of the 40 at 5v5. They gave up 21, very much like all gas, no brakes. Who cares? Actual shots was 12-11. Did have the goal. Expected goals for was 0.6 to 0.78 in favor of the Kraken. 11-11 scoring chances, 3-6 high danger chances for this line. 11-4-7 zone starts. So Quinn was riding this line in the offensive because this line was easily the Sharks' best line. Koshin, Cunning, and Graf played 10-54, 5-17 shot attempts, 3-8 actual shots. Did have the goal. Luke Cunning tipping in the Henry Thrun goal. 0.27 to 0.78 expected goals for, 3-8 scoring chances, 1-4 high danger chances with 2-3-7 zone starts. Interesting just watching the end of the game there when the Sharks are kind of, in the extra attacker situation. Colin Graf out there as the Sharks are trying to hold a lead. Guys played 4 NHL games or whatever. Colin Graf out there trying to protect the lead. So just we talked about this earlier this season of like giving these guys a chance to kind of learn on the fly here, right? And giving it Colin Graf when you have a 2-goal lead and your goalie's playing lights out, give an opportunity. Guy who did this in college. Let's see if it translates to the NHL, right? Getting that training now. So when you need it in the future, you can rely on a guy like Colin Graf. So Bordeaux, Studnicka, Bailey played 4-30, 5-9 shot attempts, 3-2 actual shots, 0.11 to 0.29 expected goals for at 5v5, 2-2 scoring chances, 0-1 high danger chances. This line I thought was okay tonight. Bordeaux, of course, always with the sneaky play, has a really nice play to kind of set up Studnicka. Studnicka just can't I think he hit the post. But again, wasn't the kind of the what we've seen from Bordeaux, but I think we're seeing much better two-way play from him. So as for the fourth line, which was Nico Sturm, Jacob McDonald, and then Ryan Carpenter. Basically, Sturm kind of got a lot more run because of his face-off prowess. Carpenter had a 0 Corsi for. McDonald also had a 0 Corsi for. And then Nico Sturm had was 4 for 8 shot attempts. 4 to 8 shot attempts. Actual shots was 3 to 5. But again, Sturm is like out there to win face-offs for you. So, yeah, I mean, other than the Lund line, that this team struggled to create any offense. And like I've said before, and I'll continue to say, Devin Cooley stole this one from Seattle because he was just absolutely ridiculous tonight. Just making like insane saves. There's the one highlight where he's just like fully like legs stretched out, just stopping, like makes an initial save and then it has, kind of the reaction to stretch out and make another save. Yeah, he was really good tonight. It's just like insanely good tonight for him. Seriously. I know we joke about the Luca Cagnoni ELC. Devin Cooley contract extension win, Mike Grier. Please. I want to see Cooley hang around. So but yeah, not a sustainable formula for success. If the Sharks played this exact same game against the Kraken, like I would expect like a 5-1, 7-2, like some sort of performance like that. Just because again, you can't give up these high quality shots time in, time out and hope your goalie kind of just continues to bail you out. Again, I don't see a lot of winning sustainable formula for success. That's why I'm not worried about the Sharks in the tank here. I know a lot of fans are already worried. Again, you just need one loss. You play the Wild, who I know are out of it, but you play the Oilers, who need these points, right? The Oilers are still, playoff team. Like they still want to win, et cetera, et cetera. Like I'm not worried about the Sharks missing out on having the top odds going into the lottery draft. So we'll talk about Will Smith, Zeev Buium, the Frozen Four, all that fun stuff here in just 1 second. When you're drafting your fantasy team, do you ever wish you could handpick the best stars for your business team? If you're building your talent roster, you need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like matching, assessments, and virtual interviews. If you hate waiting, because who likes waiting, Indeed's US data shows over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match their job descriptions the moment they sponsor a job. So join more than 3 million businesses worldwide using Indeed to hire great talent fast. And now with Indeed, you only pay for quality applications that meet your hiring criteria. Just visit Indeed.com/lockedon to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon, Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire. You need Indeed. And if you are looking for stress-free meals this spring, Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals are the way to go. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or vegan or veggie. Also, discover more than 60 add-ons every week, like breakfast, on-the-go snacks, lunch, beverages to help you stay fueled and feel good all day long. So what are you waiting for? Get started today and fuel up on your springtime goals. They have no fuss, no mess meals. Factor meals eliminate the hassle of prepping, cooking, and cleanup. Simply heat and savor the good stuff. Plus, they're celebrating Earth Day all month long. Look for the Earth Month Eats badge on the menu for the lowest carbon footprint meals. So head to factorymeals.com/lockedonnhl50 and use code LOCKEDONNHL50 to get 50% off your box plus 20% off your next box. Let's go to LOCKEDONNHL50 at factorymeals.com/LOCKEDONNHL50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is active. All right, the Frozen Four. So we have our final Denver versus Boston College. We'll start with the first game. Of course, watching Macklin Celebrini, who I thought had a good game, didn't get on the scoring sheet, but Denver's defense did a really good job of kind of suffocating Boston. It'll be interesting to see Denver play BC here. But I was watching, of course, Macklin Celebrini, and I was watching Zeev Buium, and oh man, I don't know if Buium's going to be there for the Sharks pick, but I am willing to trade it all to go get Zeev Buium. He looks like the next great two-way defender. Like I know he's Tony Ferrari's favorite defender in the class. Watching him, you see him run the power play, and I know he's left-handed. I don't care. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm all in on Zeev Buium from some of the games I've watched before, but tonight in like the biggest spot, the biggest game, just how cool he is, how calm he is. Like, he doesn't let things bother him. You see him running the power play. That Denver power play looked great all night long because of him. I know they didn't score, but they definitely were, the expected goals would be up there on that unit, the way they were kind of, and he was running it the whole 2 minutes. Like, it was his power play. Everything was running through him. I want me some of that. And don't forget, Eric Polkamp's going there next year. We could potentially see a Zeev Buium, Eric Polkamp pairing, which would be really fun as Sharks fans, because that could be your future you're looking at. But I'm all in on Zeev Buium. Trade, if you got to trade back, if you have to trade into the top 10 to go get him, I don't care. Go trade in the top 10 to go get him. It's nice having all those picks, but you need like difference makers, and Zeev Buium looks like he's a difference maker to me. So I know someone's been like, well, the Merkley window and stuff, like, just go watch Zeev Buium. Dude, he's good. He's really good. And he plays defense. He actually plays defense. That's why I think him being the next best two-way defender for the Sharks, hopefully, potentially. So, and then of course Will Smith, who didn't have the greatest last round, came back 2 goals tonight. You just as the stakes get bigger, Will Smith just plays better and better. I know the second goal was a little bit fluky, right? Coming behind the net, he passes it, bounces off a goalie, bounces off a defender, skates, goes in the net. But that's like when you're good, things like that just happen for you. And Will Smith is good. So Mike Grier's there. They play on the 13th, so on Saturday. That's the last game of the season, and then it'll be Will Smith watch and see what happens with Will Smith. Like I said, I think if Boston College wins it all, I wonder if FanDuel's got the odds up right now. If Boston College wins it all, like I don't know what else you have left to go back for, to be honest. Like I really don't know what else you have left to go back for. Nothing else yet. Sorry, trying to pull it to see if it's available. The odds right now on FanDuel. There's not much else left for him to go back. Like if you want to go back and dominate and maybe like try to put up 100 points or something crazy like that, like go have fun. But I think he's ready for the next challenge. And I think that either that if it's in the NHL or the AHL, I think he just needs to start playing against professional. We need to see Will Smith away from Leonard and Perreault, who are great players. And there's going to be those 3 guys are going to be forever linked for their careers and what happens when they move on. And you can like all 3 players. Like Ryan Leonard's an amazing player. Like if the Sharks were picking 5, I would have been all over 5 or 6. I would have been very much like they should draft Ryan Leonard. Ryan Leonard's a great player. Just different type of player than Will Smith, which is fine, right? But Will Smith's going to be great. Like he's going to be a star, if not a superstar. Just the way he plays, his style of play, how smart he is. You saw tonight he oozes skill, and you don't find guys like that who just ooze skill and make things look as easy as he does. And I think the Sharks can replicate that line. If you want to have Quentin Musty playing like if Quentin Musty on that line with him, if you want to get another big body guy, that's great on the forecheck. Cool. Like you have players who can replicate those skills, or you can find players that replicate those skills. That makes Will Smith such a great player. Again, you see what makes him work for him. Now try to replicate it in the NHL. So if you want to have a line like Eklund, who can kind of play the Perreault role, and then you want to go get like Quentin Musty, who can be the bigger body guy, but can also shoot and go to the net. Hey, that sounds pretty similar to me. So yeah. So we'll see what happens with Will Smith. We got so Saturday will be a fun one for Sharks fans as we got that game going on, and then the Sharks play their last home game against the Minnesota Wild. So we'll be back Sunday night-ish, probably, unless something crazy happens. We'll be back Sunday night-ish to discuss what goes on this weekend. Of course, what keeps track of the Barracuda games, all that fun stuff. So unless William Eklund gets another hat trick on Saturday night, then we'll probably be talking about William Eklund hat trick. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. You can follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. You can follow me on Twitter at MyFryhole. Till Monday. Bye, friends.